Another race that bears watching is tomorrow's primary battle in Florida's 23rd district. That's where the incumbent Democratic Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz is trying to hold on to her congressional seat in the wake of the Democratic National Committee email hacking scandal that led to her resignation as the DNC chair. Her opponent in this Democratic primary is Tim Canova. He's a law and public finance professor down in Florida. Thanks very much for joining us. We also invited, by the way, Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz, but she declined our invitation. Let's talk about some of the issues out there. You were endorsed by Senator Bernie Sanders. Hillary Clinton, as you know, she's backing Debbie Wasserman Schultz. She won. Hillary Clinton won your district by a huge 37-point margin. So how do you combat that? Do you believe you have a realistic chance of beating Congresswoman Debbie Wasserman Schultz tomorrow?
Well, we know we do. And, you know, Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders are not on the ballot. In fact, back in March when we had the presidential primary, Bernie Sanders didn't even have a field operation in our district, and I think he only had one field office in all of South Florida. You compare that with our operation. We have the largest field operation in the entire country for any House campaign. We've got 4 field offices in the district, dozens of field organizers, and hundreds of volunteers. And we're knocking on 10,000 doors a week right now and having conversations with the voters, and it's making all the difference. The very few polls that have been out already, they showed a tight race, but they're also polls that are only surveying likely voters. And what we're finding is a lot of unlikely voters are now turning out to the polls. Thousands of independents and Republicans have re-registered Democrat to vote in our race, and the supervisor of elections is now reporting that a very high percentage of the votes that have already been cast in vote by mail and early voting sites are people who don't ordinarily turn out and vote in an August primary. So we've expanded the field, and we like our chances a lot of winning tomorrow.
Did you ask Senator Sanders to come down to Florida to campaign with you over the past few weeks?
Well, you know, Senator Sanders, as it's been reported, his new organization has been walled off. It's a 501c4, so we've not been able to have any direct communications. But I'll tell you, our phone is ringing off the hook. Thousands of people are stepping up who are not walled off from our campaign. We've really got so much grassroots energy coming our way right now. The momentum is all on our side. And it's because our message is resonating. You know, we've been pointing out the facts from the beginning, and you could PolitiFact check it. It has been already. Wasserman Schultz has been taking millions of dollars from the biggest corporations and Wall Street banks, and she's been pushing their interests for several years now over those of ordinary folks in South Florida. So she's been for the bad Trans-Pacific Partnership deal. She's been trying to protect payday lenders that charge over 300% interest rates on loans here in South Florida. She's been actually taking money from private prison companies and pushing private prisons. And Florida is one of the states that leads the nation in private prisons. And she's been taking money from big agricultural and big sugar interests that have contributed to the environmental crisis that's unfolding with the blue-green algae tide that's polluting our waters, harming the tourist trade, and even threatening the aquifer and the drinking water of South Florida. So issue after issue, these are local issues. This is what people are really concerned about. They're not very concerned about national politics in this race. They're very much focusing on the local issues.
Tim Canova, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you. Nice to be with you. Appreciate it.